Hello all, this is going to be video number 9, which is going to be talking about chapter 4 from your textbook called Recalling and Observing. So right now what I have shared on my screen is a digital copy of the textbook chapter. If you have a digital copy, you may be looking at something similar, but you also might have a physical copy. If that's the case, look on the page numbers that I have on the syllabus. So this chapter is going to be important because it's going to help you think more about the writing process to help you all write your narratives, your essay number 1. So let's just let this reload here for a second because sometimes it takes a little minute. So here you can kind of look and see and kind of read. I'm not going to read it all, but you can read some tips, what some people might do. And then after that, it gives some examples. There are 2 different examples that are listed in this chapter. The first one is actually from a more professional author. It's called Returning to My Father's Koreatown. And the second one is a student essay, and it's called What is a Hunter? Now, what is a hunter? Is that student essay, and it could be interesting. You don't necessarily have to put this in your Complex book entry, but definitely think about like reading as a writer, thinking about how those examples are different, similar. You might be able to get inspiration for what you maybe want to write about in your essay if you're having problems. We do have the student example essay and the 2 professional essays as well from this course. But definitely read these 2 examples. They're not that long, but they are both stories. They are both example narratives that can definitely help with potentially thinking about a topic for your paper, or thinking about the audience and the purpose, or even paragraph formation, word choice, or something else. So definitely look at those examples there. Then afterwards, on my textbook, it's like 57 and onward, there is a lot of information that can really help. So they talk about a lot of different strategies that can help as you're writing, as you're trying to think about how you're looking for a topic or trying to figure out what you're looking for. So the whole idea of this chapter is writing from observation, writing from memory. When you're writing a narrative, you're writing about a story about yourself, so something that has probably happened in the past. And so when you're thinking about those memories, thinking about what did you observe? Was it someplace around your hometown? What did you smell, taste, or hear? So they give a lot of tips to help you think about the different stages of the writing process, how to brainstorm, kind of managing your time. That can be a little helpful. Generating ideas, writing from recollection, writing for observation. There's no 100% correct way to brainstorm. They even have an example. You can try doodling and sketching. And so if you're somebody who likes to draw and you come up with an idea best when you're drawing, do that. Really, I want this the whole semester. If you don't know what works for you in terms of, brainstorming and drafting, I want this to be a space where it can help you understand what works best for you. And so a lot of this chapter is thinking about that in relation to your narrative. So you have 2 kind of final drafts, but then they give a lot of tips on thinking about, well, what can I draw? What can I think about in terms of my topic? And even if you do know what you're writing about, it can still definitely be helpful when thinking about making those what you're writing about, those scenes or descriptions, even more specific. And so what questions can you be like? You can think about who was involved, what happened, and ask more specific questions for yourself and try to answer them. And then they give some examples from the examples that hopefully will be helpful for you. And so please just read all this. Ideally, this is going to help you more in addition to the Complex book entries that we've already done for Complex book for the first essay. And again, this is chapter 4. You will have a few other chapters from the textbook later on in the semester. And you can kind of flip through the chapters to pick chapter 4 here because it's relevant to writing a narrative. The other chapters are going to be helpful for other different purposes. So please let me know if you have any questions, and definitely you can pull out quotes from the 2 example essays. You can pull out quotes from other places in the chapter, but ideally, hopefully all of it's helpful to brainstorming and writing your essay number one.